Hey gang, Aaron Fisher here with another episode of the Card Magic Minute. This is my chance to share with you some of the important lessons that my students are learning when they study with me during the course of my online training program. Today, I have a letter I want to read you from Robert Mueller in Romania. I'm paraphrasing. So in Romania, they all play with Hungarian cards, which are absolutely horrible for magic, and even if I try my best, I couldn't do the simplest trick with them. So in the concept of doing everywhere magic with borrowed cards for me is impossible. I would always have to have my cards, which are standard bicycle cards, which I bought on the internet since you can't find them. So what would you do if you were in my position? P.S. Sorry if my grammar is bad. Signed, Robert Mueller. Well, first of all, Robert, your grammar's just fine. Second of all, yes, if it's what makes sense to you, you can buy fancy American red bicycles, and take them out and do magic, amazing card plots that you've been studying for your friends in Romania with them. Now, since they see these exotic American cards doing this crazy visual magic, they may think that your U.S. playing card company cards are a device made by the Apple Corporation. So before you make that decision and let that entire situation dictate the course of your magic, let me tell you a little bit about something I learned when I was growing up. Even to this day, one of my favorite kinds of magic to perform is bar magic. I love performing for a group of adults who are having drinks in a bar or out at a restaurant and performing long magic shows for them where we're having a lot of fun and it can last all night. And for me, that's ever since I was a little boy. I really enjoyed that. My parents took me to see Scotty York and Bob Sheets, and then later I got to see Doc Eason and Eric Mead. Eric in particular is, I think, one of the greatest handful of close-up magicians the world has ever known. And when I really started aspiring to do this kind of magic behind the bar, the guys kept saying to me, hey man, your job is to sell drinks. Your job is to sell drinks. Your job is to sell drinks. And I was like, like I was talking to my parents, man, you guys are a broken record. I just want to do magic. And they would say, your job is to sell drinks. And of course, their point was, if you're not selling drinks, the owner of the bar isn't happy and you're not going to be working there anymore. So what we're talking about here are conditions. Conditions are important. Conditions are the thing that allows you to take all these magic books behind me and take the tricks out of them and actually plug them into real life conditions. And so what my bar magic teachers and friends were trying to explain to me is that when bar magic was pretty much invented by Hiba Haba Al in Chicago, it was invented and it was a good idea for the bar because the bar magician could keep the people who might otherwise go home sitting at the bar, ordering drink after drink, staying all night, so that the bar would sell a lot of drinks and everyone would be profitable and prosperous and bar magic might continue. And so that's how the bar magic style developed. That's how Eric Mead became able to keep people at a bar for 3-4 hours getting far drunker than they would ever plan on being otherwise, because his magic was designed for that purpose. And that's, at least in part, the conditions that allowed him to become such an epic, incredible, long-form, close-up magician that we all, or at least myself, look up to very, very much. So another example of conditions that you should consider, take René Lavon. It's another obvious example of conditions. Here's a fellow that's had about the worst tragedy imaginable that could ever happen to a card magician happen to him. And those were his conditions. He can only do magic with one hand because he lost his other hand. So he was able to, because of those conditions, draw so much meaning from that experience and share it with his audience that he's become one of the handful of finest sleight of hand artists and most renowned sleight of hand artists in the entire world. So back to you, Robert. Again, you have a choice. You can get exotic cards and do crazy card plots. But I would caution you that before you run out and grab a deck of red bicycles and start doing oil and water, unless you're Juan Tamariz or one of 3 other guys in the world, no one really wants to see you do oil and water anyway. Focus on the effects that you can do with really terrible Romanian cards. Here's what comes to my mind. Torn and restored card comes to my mind. Card in lemon, card in fruit, card in envelope, really simple card in shoe, card stabs, card on the ceiling. Now these are all super simple effects. They're not long drawn out plots, but they're super simple. And in addition, they're some of the strongest effects that I could name for any one of us to perform. So please, before you decide to use imported playing cards and freak out your audience for the rest of your life, take the opportunity to take advantage of the conditions that you've been given. It might just lead you to becoming the singular performer that we all dream of being when we pick up magic in the first place. So that's today's episode of the Card Magic Minute, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to me. I'm Aaron at aaronfishermagic.com. And while you're at it, you can go to aaronfishermagic.com/coaching.htm and fill out a free student profile that will tell me all about you and your magic, and then I'll get back to you with some ideas about how you might take your studies further and we might work together. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Aaron Fisher Card, and on Facebook at facebook.com/Aaron Fisher. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you very soon.